Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Well, we're going to try to answer the million-dollar question. What will Joe Biden do next? Well, let's look at his options. Continue to run for re-election. There's no fear of the 25th Amendment putting him out, so we can take that and throw it away. That's a good talking point for Democrats that want him gone and for all Republicans that want him gone. Impeaching him won't do any good. He won't get the number of votes in the Senate or the House. I think it's 2/3. None of those things will happen. So what will Joe Biden do next? Like I said, he could run for re-election, stay the course, and hope that the legal system crucifies Donald Trump enough where he'll wound him so badly he'll lose, or by some miracle of miracles, he will be ineligible to run for president of the United States. Or they might even try, and ipso facto, like the Supreme Court said, he can legally run for office, but he might not be able to legally hold office, which is kind of interesting. Or he can resign next couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, probably after Super Tuesday, beginning of March, and Kamala Harris will be sworn in as president of the United States. Or there's a third option. He announces his retirement and he's not seeking re-election. That way he's not picking Kamala Harris as the heir apparent. Well, let's go through each one of them. Stay the course. Buckle under and hope our lawfare and all the nonsense we're doing to try to put our political opponents in jail works out. That's a big roll of the dice. He announces his resignation in the next few weeks and says, I really don't want to, but the future of our country, the future of our democracy is in peril. And I think a younger person will lead us out of this darkness that Donald Trump is, you know the spiel. As he said, the thing. But I think I gave it a lot of thought, and I think the most likely outcome with him just saying, I withdraw myself as a candidate for president of the United States for re-election. I'm going to finish out the term. There's only 10 months left, 10 months and change. What's the point of him walking away? And some of the rumors are true, some of them aren't. There's no goodwill from the Kamala Harris camp and the Biden camp. I guess there's a lot of bad blood there, even though they look like they're all part of the Mickey Mouse Club. But there's some friction. Oddly enough, Vice President Kamala Harris's poll numbers are actually worse than Biden's, if that's even possible. She's about as well liked as a rash, you know what I mean, in a very sensitive area. So I think him just resigning and making her president, even if it's only for 10 months, is out. Him running for re-election and trying to stay the course, pretty dangerous stuff. He is a stubborn old guy. He was stubborn when he was younger, so it has nothing to do with his age. He's arrogant, and he's not too bright, which is a very bad mix. But I will say, in all fairness, for somebody as dumb as Joe Biden, sincerely, honestly, I don't mean this tongue-in-cheek, he's been incredibly successful politically. He sits in the Oval Office. Now, we can go on and on how he got there, but that's a different issue. So obviously the people that handle him and/or him aren't as stupid as people make out. But I say he's smart in a bad way. He's smart in an evil way. For everyday things, the knowledge you need to be president and just run any large corporation for that matter, he's dumber than a bag of rocks. Can you kind of follow what I'm trying to say? I think he's going to get pressure. The mainstream media has already been given the heads up. by whoever is running the Democratic Party. As you can see, they're slowly starting to criticize him. And it's funny, they always mention his age. It's his age, it's his age, it's his age. It's not his age. There's people that are 60 that have cognitive problems and dementia. It's quite common, actually. So it's not his age. What they're doing that for is Donald Trump is close, just behind him in age. So if they say he's too old, then Donald Trump is too old. See how the game is played? It's not your mental faculties. It's your age only. Like every single person that's 80, 77, 78, in that range, all has the same mental faculties. Well, we know that's not true. That's not true in people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. We know that's not true either. You notice I never say it's his age, it's his age, it's his age, but it's really about his mental capacity. So I'm going to do a little prediction here. One thing about predictions, when they come out right, you look like a genius. And when they come out wrong, nobody remembers. I'm going to make this prediction. It is mid-February. In 3 weeks, give or take a couple days, is Super Tuesday. Now, there really isn't much of a primary challenger to Joe Biden. I think RFK Jr. has dropped out and going as an independent. But they're going to wait till after Super Tuesday to see how many nominations, the point system that they use to get the nomination, comes from Super Tuesday for Donald Trump. And if they see he's just about near or is almost at the point where he's going to be nominated, I think that's when Biden's going to say, right after Super Tuesday, mid-March, I've decided to finish out my term. I am pulling my name from nomination for re-election as President of the United States. I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart and my respect and deep admiration for our country and its history and our founders, to try to keep it from the forces that are trying to destroy it. You know the spiel. After consulting with my wife, my family, my physicians, people I know and trust, they say it's time for new leadership, younger leadership to lead us into the fill in the blanks. I can write the speech tomorrow. That's how much we know is good, exactly what he's going to say if he does walk away. But he will not resign. I can guarantee that. One, he's just too stubborn to admit that he's wrong. He's too stubborn to admit that his mental faculties are diminishing, and that would be admitting that. He can't do that. Plus, he can't let Kamala Harris get sworn in as President of the United States. So he's not going to do that. And I don't think he's going to be able to survive politically running for re-election. That leaves him one door open to not run for re-election and say he's a martyr. He would love to go against Trump. Love to get him out back in the back of the building, that kind of crap. I'd love to destroy him at the debates. But my country is more important than my personal animosity towards Donald Trump, And that's what's going to happen. My guess, like I said, mid-late March, maybe April, not sure, somewhere in there after Super Tuesday. Maybe even being late spring, who knows, that rough area. But once they see that Donald Trump will have enough delegates to get the nomination, or the vast majority of them by Super Tuesday, that's what he's going to decide. It's his only way out. Just like the prosecutors that were investigating the special counsel that said he was a elderly old man with memory issues and they couldn't remember who was vice president, and no jury on earth would be so sympathetic for him, even if he put him on trial for the documents that he stole when he wasn't president. which is a felony. If you take documents as a president, it's not. There's no jury in the world that'd be so sympathetic to this pitiful old man that we could get a conviction. So we're not going to charge him. So that's not going to be pursued. The impeachment inquiries will stop. Impeaching a president who's a lame duck with 10 months left. They don't want Joe Biden to be impeached anyway, even if they had the votes. They don't want Kamala Harris to be sworn in as president of the United States. So the only solution, the only way out, just like the prosecutor not prosecuting Biden when he really should be, the only way out of this, if he withdraws his name for nomination for re-election. That's the way I see it. I am not an expert on politics by any means, but me being in local politics as a local elected official in the 2000s, I do know people, and I do know how the arrogant ones think. And I do know how the arrogant ones think that are dumber than a bag of rocks. And that's how they think. I'm going to leave on my own terms, not yours. I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to be impeached. I'm not going to be thrown out on the 25th Amendment. None of those things are going to happen. I'm going to go out the way I want to go out. And that is to finish my term. Finish what I started when I took that oath. You know, that kind of nonsense. And that's, I think, is going to happen. What do you think? I think there's no other way out for Joe Biden. There's no other way out because they see Trump's going to win. And they've got to do something. Some miracle, pull out the rabbit out of their hat, as they say. And keeping Biden there and running for re-election is a doomed process. What do you think? I see no other way out for Joe Biden. That way there'll only be one president ever to resign in the history of the country, and that was Richard Nixon. So to save face and make him look like a hero and a martyr, that's the way it's going to go down. Until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.